everyone, and welcome to my Flight Sim World. This is Dave Peoples here, and as promised, I am going to do the flight in the 727. We are currently sitting at KSAV, Savannah Hilton Head International Airport, and we'll be flying from here to KMIA, Miami, Florida. And the weather's nice, so we shouldn't have any problems weather-wise. This 727 is by FlyJ Sim for X-Plane 11, and the exteriors of it are extremely well. You can see the reflections are done very well, and it is an overall beautiful looking aircraft. And we'll get inside now and get things going here for our flight. Okay, before we get going, we gotta give her some power, but we need to go over to the engineers panel. And we go up to the top here, and we have to turn on the battery right here. Battery's on, we got power. Now we need to start the APU, which is located here. We'll turn this off. We'll flip up the APU and hold it for a few seconds. Let it flicker a few times. Alright, we can let go. And we just have to wait until the exhaust temperature of the APU gets to 5. And then when it gets to 5, we will trip the generator switch. You have to wait to 5. You can hear the APU starting up, and you think it's ready, but it's not. If you click it before 5, it won't do anything. So just be patient and wait for it to get to 5. We're almost there. Alright, now we got the APU running. We'll go back over to the engineers panel, and we will turn on the fuel pumps. And as you turn them on, the lights will go off. Alright, the lights are off. That's all we need to do right here for the time being. We can go to the overhead panel, and we can put some lights inside the cockpit here. Because we need some good lighting here. And because by the time we get to Miami, it's going to be approaching dark, so we want to have some lights. Okay, now we can turn on our outside lights, navigational lights, strobe lights, beacon lights, wing lights, and our tail lights. Okay, now we can arm the emergency power lights. We'll turn on the probe heaters. We'll go up to the very top, and we will turn on the one that's heat, both top and bottom. The green lights come on, that's fine. Okay, that's all we need to do in the overhead panel for the time being. We can turn on the no smoking and seatbelt signs. Okay, now we can get the today we're going to be using the FMC. Right now it has the INS system in it, which is a very good system, but I'm not going to use it because I have found that ever since I loaded it and try to use it, I get a stutter in my videos, and I don't like the stutter, trying to figure out what's going on there. So instead of dealing with that today, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on settings here, and where it says navigation system, I'm going to change it to the FMC. So, you know, I purchased the INS. It doesn't come with it, and I purchased it because it was more realistic to the aircraft. But you can also go with nothing, and you would have to fly the OBS system of radio signals. But to make things less complicated today, we're going to be using the FMC. Okay, and while I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and set my takeoff bugs. There they are. They're already set for us. And I'm going to move the speed dial here up to about 250 knots. Because that's what we want to maintain in our climb. Okay, I can get rid of that. Now we'll load up the FMC. First thing, check the status. Go to database. Now we put in an identifier, which is KSAV. That is the identifier for Savannah Hilton Head. Click there, see it shows up Savannah Hilton Head. Now we'll go to flight plan. We'll enter it again. And we'll enter it here. And our destination will be Miami, KMIA. Put that there. And now we're going to put our flight number. We're in Eastern Airlines, so EA for Eastern Airlines, and you can really just make up your flight number. I like 714. We'll put that there. We will execute, and now we will go to departure arrivals. We'll hit departure. We're going to be departing from runway 28. We'll click that and execute it. Now we'll go back to flight plan. And see, this is gone here. That's what I wanted. Now, our first waypoint is going to be Jacksonville, Florida, which is KJAX. KJAX. Put that there. It shows up red. Execute. Now we'll go to the next page. And our next waypoint is going to be Dibral, which is DEBRL. And we're going to put that there. We will execute it. And our next waypoint is going to be Rhodes, which is RHODZ as in zebra. And we'll put that there. We will execute that. Now we'll check our legs here and see what we got. Okay, but before we do that, we're going to go to departure arrivals. We're going to be arriving ILS 27. We'll execute that. Now we'll go back to legs and see what we got. Okay, now we got this discontinuity here. We have to get rid of it, and we'll go to the next page and SARCO. Click on that right there. It'll show up here. Now we'll go back and we click on this right here, and that gets rid of the discontinuity. Pretty sure we don't have any more now. So you have to get rid of that or things will not work properly. So we execute it now and we're good there. Let's see here. Navigational radios. We're set for 109.50. 109.50. Our course is entered. It should be 272. We'll just change it to 272. This will be our approach course on our final to KMIA, and the radio frequency is 109.50. So we're good there. Check climb. 250 knots, 10,000 feet. Transition altitude's 18,000. We'll be cruising at 25,000 a day, 250. We'll enter that there. And we are good. Good to go. So FMC's loaded and we're ready to go there, so that should not be a problem. But since we're using FMC today, we have to switch this switch here from navigate to GPS. And now that we've done that, we can call for a pushback, and we will taxi down to runway 28.
Okay, I'll send a push cart.
So we're gonna wait on the push cart to come get us. He'll be with us momentarily. Here he comes. Break off.
Here we go.
Okay. Now while he's pushing us back, we can get the engine started here. We go to the top of the overhead panel, open these 3 compartments. We will start engine 3 first. You push it down the ground. Then we'll go back down here and we will watch our N2. When the N2 gets to 20, we will give it fuel. It's 20, flip up the lever. And it's spooling up. When this light goes out here, we can start engine 2. Okay, we can start engine 2. We do the exact same thing. Down the ground. Back down here. When the N2 gets to 20, right there, we will give it fuel. Alright, it's 20, give it fuel, wait for the light to go out, and we will do engine 1. Alrighty, now we can start engine 1. Close these compartments. Go back down here. When it gets to 20, we'll give it fuel. It's at 20, give it fuel. Right. And as soon as this light goes out, we will go back to the engineer panel. I better put the brake on here, don't want to roll away. I thought I did, but I guess I forgot. We can go ahead and turn our landing lights on because we're going to be taking off here. So we'll go ahead and turn those on. Okay, lights out. We'll go to engineers panel. Got a few things to do before we get going here. First thing, we gotta close the bus ties. Get the lights to go out. Notice the gauges move. We can go up here and turn the gallery power on. Both left 1 and 2. We can go over to the right hand side here. Turn on the cargo heat outflow. And Gasper fan. We'll turn on the packs left and the packs right. You must do this. It is a must. Do not forget to turn the packs on. Alright, now we'll go down here. Our altitude for today for our oxygen is going to be 25,000 feet. Our landing altitude is 9 feet. So I'll set it for 10. And then we'll turn this to flight. Notice it dropping here. That is good. After we do that, we can come over here, turn this up to generator 1, turn this up to generator 1. Now we can give some lights to the engineer's panel so he won't be in the dark when we get to Miami. Alright, now we'll come down here. We need to turn on the hydraulic systems. Lights are out. All the lights should be out on the engineer's panel. That's what we want. Everything's good here. And now that that's done, we can turn off the APU. Just come here, turn it off. Ta-da! It is done. Now we can come over to the center here. We need to set our flaps for takeoff. Be flaps 15. 1, 2, 3. That's flaps 15 for takeoff. And now we will turn on our weather radar, which is right here. I'll flip this down to 10. We'll turn this on. We'll turn this to mount. We will turn the gain all the way up and turn the brightness all the way up. And the weather radar is up. And I usually set this on about 10. And there it is. Weather radar's up. I don't think we're going to need it today, but we have it just in case we do. Okay, after we take off, we can go ahead and set our trim. My trim's going to be 5, so if you just click here, it'll set it for you, and you don't have to worry about moving this. This is our autopilot, and once we get airborne, we will turn the autopilot on. We will select heading, and we will turn this to IAS hold, initial airspeed hold, indicated airspeed hold, and it will hold your airspeed that you set until you get to your cruising altitude. After that, you're on your own. This plane is not equipped with autopilot, and you'll be on your own. And once we get our heading lined up with our FMS, then we can turn the selector knob to auxiliary down here, navigation, and it will follow the GPS that we loaded into the FMC. Today we'll probably only be using the navigational radios. We won't be using communication radios because we're not going to use air traffic control. We can brighten this up down here by turning that. There we go. So now all we have to do is taxi and get out of here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, we're gonna taxi on out now. I do use the Vulcan shader that comes with X-Plane 11. It seems to give me more FPS, and I don't stutter. I'm getting great FPS right now. I'm getting about 37, 38, somewhere around there. Okay, we're going to turn left here at this taxiway. quite a long taxi here down the runway 28, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm gonna stop here and I'll join you when we get to the runway. Okay, we're here at the edge of the runway. We're going to get on the runway now. Get centered here and we'll just take on off. Okay, here we go. Let's give her full power. Rotate, positive rate of climb, gear up. Now we can turn on the autopilot, heading select, and turn this to IAS. Okay, flaps 1 up. Flaps 2 up. Flaps all the way up. Okay, now we've reached our heading. We can go back to the and change this to auxiliary nav. And this will put us on our correct course. Whoops. The altitude didn't set it, did I? Okay. Go back down to the... That's one thing I forgot to do, so but we'll go ahead and put this on. Okay, now we'll back off on the power so we won't be climbing as fast. This little bird has a good climb rate. It really does. Notice the bar will get right centered up when we get lined up. This will come over. It works the same as though you were using the OBS system when you use the FMC. And it will line up right in the center and you'll be definitely on track when that's right in the center. When you fly the OBS system with radio frequencies, you kind of have to adjust this to get it to come to the center to keep you on track. But anyway, we're cruising right along now. I need to get this down to exactly 25,000. I can't believe I didn't set it before it took off, but you know, there is human. But we're good to go. Everything's looking great. Go over the engineer's panel. All the lights are out. The oil pressure and the temperature and the quality is good. All the lights are out. Everything looking good up here. Generator drives are good. The voltage is good. Everything looking good. So we can come back over here. Our engine functions are very good. Everything's in the green. Everything's looking good. We have plenty of fuel for the trip. So we're doing alright. So anyway, I'll give you a few views outside. this is the enhanced X-Plane 11 scenery with TerraFlora that I installed from Orbix. And also, when we get into the Florida airspace, you will notice that the scenery will change drastically for the better, because I have True Earth Florida by Orbix HD high definition, and it is outstanding. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go, and I'll join you later when we reach our cruising altitude. Okay, we're just about at our cruising altitude of 25,000 feet. And now that we're almost at 25,000, just a few more hundred feet, I am going to back off on the throttle because, like I said earlier, you do not have auto throttle in the 727, so you have to control the speed yourself. But I found out if I go over here and look at the true airspeed indicator, I usually try to get this to where it will stop. It's hard to do. It'll go down a little bit, it'll go up a few. So you get the speed you want, you just kind of have to adjust it every now and then. And I found out it's easier to control the speed looking here than it is here. So it's almost at the stopping point. Right now we're flying at 170 knots. I mean, not 100, 470 knots, I'm sorry. And if you multiply that times 1.152, it will give you your miles per hour. We'll do that right now. So 470 times 1.152 is 541 miles per hour. So that's a pretty good speed, and I'm not worried about if it drops a few below. You can tell if you look over here, it is dropping a little bit, but it will get to the point that it will just stop. But you just, have to monitor your speed, because the 727, it will get away from you very quickly. Next thing you know, you're overspeeding, and you do not want to do that. So you just kind of have to maintain your speed, keep an eye on it. It's very, very important. So, but other than that, we're at a cruising altitude. Let's take a look outside. Got some high cirrus clouds, but that's all I see that we have to deal with today. Looking out at the vast Atlantic Ocean. There's a nice wing view. The only thing I am disappointed with this is it doesn't have interior views. It kind of adds to the realism. But I've adjusted my view here right over the wing, and I've got the sound volume on it turned down so you don't hear the loud noise of the engines outside. So it's a nice view. You kind of get the impression you're looking at the wing from the interior. So, but other than that, overall, the aircraft is, in my opinion, very well made. The characteristics of it are phenomenal. It was designed by 727 pilots for FlyJSim rather, and overall, it's a beautiful aircraft. I love the 727. So anyway, we're cruising along here. We are 23 miles from my first waypoint, so I'm gonna let you go, and I'll join you at our first waypoint. Okay, we're making our turn at our first waypoint over Jacksonville, Florida. And if you look down, you notice the scenery looks pretty realistic. Orbix True Earth Florida high definition is just outstanding in my opinion. I love Orbic scenery. I wish they had it for the whole eastern United States, but you can get airports in the eastern U.S. They do have a lot of airports they offer you, but I just love this True Earth Florida. They use a lot of, satellite imaging and things of that nature to make it look real great, and it is fantastic. So anyway, we just made our turn at our waypoint, and I thought I'd let you see the turn here. It was very nice. But anyway, I'm gonna join you later when we get to our next waypoint. Okay, we're just about at our second waypoint here, a few miles away, and we just hit our waypoint. We should be slightly turning. Slightly. Yeah, very slight turn. So anyway, wasn't much of a turn at that waypoint, but I just want to let you know, if you look at the FMC here, we have 211 miles before we get to roads. Right before 100 miles out, I need to start my descent. I need to be at least at 4,000 feet before I get to roads, and then when I get to Sarko, I have to be at 1,800, and then we'll catch our glide slope at whatever this is here, CHHAC, Chaz. Anyway, but I just want to let you know that I will start my descent in about 100 miles from now. And I'll give you some views of the outside, and then I'll rejoin you when I get ready to make my descent. Okay, we're getting close to that 100 miles out, but I'm going to go ahead and start my descent. But before I do, I have made the altitude select to 4,000 because we have to be there by the time we get to roads. So before I do descend, I will back off on the speed because I turn the speed lever just about all the way back. And now we will start our descent. We'll hit altitude select, and we will start our descent. And I'll check and see if I got the vertical speed to where I want it. Yeah, it's about where I want it, right about 1,800 feet per minute here. So you notice the speed is dropping now, so now I can give it a little bit to try to stop that. So yeah, just enough to try to get it to stop. Now it's starting to speed up. Move back about right there. We'll hold it right there. And we'll just keep an eye on it. Like I said, this bird will get away from you. You have to monitor your speed constantly. But anyway, it'll take us a while to get down to our next waypoint of roads. So I'll give you a few more views, and then I will join you when we reach that. joined you, we're at about 15,000 feet, but what I need to do is I need to add some speed brakes to help slow us down here. So I will put the speed brakes, whoops, not the flaps, sorry about that. About halfway up. If we look out, they're about halfway up, and that will help slow us down because we need to be at 250 knots by the time we get to 10,000 feet. So, but anyway, I just wanted to let you know you got to back off on that speed. You have to use the speed brakes to slow this thing down because I've got the throttle all the way off and it is slowly slowing down. That's with the speed brakes halfway up. But by the time we get to 10,000 feet, we should be right about the 250 mark. And then you can adjust your throttle accordingly to keep you at that speed. And I will leave the speed brakes where they are until we reach our altitude select. So as you can see, we're at 12,000. We're almost down to 250 knots. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn landing lights on. We're supposed to be at 10,000 feet, but I'll go ahead and turn them on now because we're almost there. The landing lights have to be on at 10,000 feet, plus you have to be maintaining 250 knots or below at 10,000 feet. Now I can add a little speed to it. Try to get the dial to slow down to almost a stop right here. Almost stop. Back off just a hair. Okay. We're looking good now, so I'll join you when we get further down toward our Miami airspace. See you soon. Okay, we're down to about 4,000 feet now, and it's getting dusk and twilight, and you notice some of the street lights down below have come on, and let's look outside. See the sun setting, looks very nice. Yeah, the lights are coming on down below, and it's looking good down there. I'll have to adjust my speed now because I have slowed down since we reached our altitude select. I will try to get us back up to 250 here very slowly. And we got about 40 some miles before we get to roads, and then we'll make our turn toward our ILS procedures. But anyway, I will join you when we get closer to Miami, and you can see the buildings and view, and it will be very nice. But anyway, I will join you as we get closer to Miami. Okay, some of the buildings are coming into view now along the Miami coastline. We are about 20 miles from our final waypoint turn into the Miami International Airport. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce speed now and give it a couple notches of flaps. Get us slowed down here. Okay, we should be at flaps 15. Yes, we are. Okay. We will be at flaps 30 for landing. I'm going to try to give it some speed here. Hold it at about 180 knots until we make our final turn. When I do make my final turn, I will switch this to navigate. I will switch this to Auto GS, and then I'll come back up here and switch this to Auto Slope, and this will line us up to our turn. Give us a speed here. We're down about 180. That's 160. We'll give it a little bit of more speed here. Try to hold it about 180. Alright, we'll hold it right there right now. We're out over the water right now, but we will be coming back in toward land here momentarily. And as soon as we get ready to make that turn, I will rejoin you. Okay, we're almost to the point so where we're going to make the turn, and then I will switch out of the FMC back to navigation so we can do our final approach into Miami. And we're making the turn now. I'm going to go ahead and put the gear down. I'm going to back off on speed. I'm going to give it a couple more notches of flaps here. Give it one more for 30. And now I'm going to give it some speed here so we don't go too slow. I will switch this to navigate, and I will go to the auto, turn that to Auto GS, and then I will come up here and put this where it needs to go. Alright. Okay, now the navigation system will take over. And you can see, the closer we get to Miami Beach, you can see the beautiful buildings of Miami Beach. And should be a nice, beautiful landing. I gotta watch my speed here. Gotta maintain the speed here yourself, so you have to just closely monitor it just to make sure I'm not going too fast or too slow. I'm gonna try to maintain about 140 knots for right now. On our final approach, I will change it to about 130 and then about 120 for touchdown. So, wow, beautiful Miami Beach coming into view. So, I'm just going to stay with you now until we make our landing and let you enjoy some of beautiful Miami scenery here. As we get closer to the buildings, I will show you some outside views. Gear is down. We're looking good. About 3 miles from Sarco, then we will be making our final approach. Looking down at Miami Beach there out the window. It is beautiful down there. Okay, we should be just about there. be making a turn momentarily here. Runway's over here. Miami coming into view. Okay, we've made our turn to line us up with runway 27. We will capture the glide slope here momentarily. Should start, our nose should start going down any moment. Yes, we have captured the glide slope. Notice the green here. I will have to monitor my speed carefully here to make sure I don't gain too much speed and make sure I don't go too slow. But we are looking good, looking fabulous here. Wow, look at those beautiful buildings of downtown Miami. This scenery is awesome. I just love it. So I'm gonna have to come back in here and maintain, see the traffic down there and the city lights, the buildings. And right now I'm getting, I'm holding right about 18. It's a little bit lower than normal, but with the Vulcan shaders, it usually won't let me go low enough to where I will start stuttering. But yes, this scenery does hit your FPS real hard, especially at night with all the lights. When I get closer to runway, I will matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and do it now. You will hear a beeping noise when I do this because it's just letting me know that they're up.
300.
The speed brakes are up, are armed. They will come up when I touch down. I'll back off on the throttle now.
100. 50. 40.
Flare up.
30. 20. 10.
We are down. We will give it reverse thrust. Apply the brakes. Reverse thrust off. We will take this first taxiway here. We will go down here because we want to park with Federal Express. We have to do the nice little taxi here, but you can enjoy looking at the lighted Miami airport. Such a beautiful airport. The lighting here is phenomenal. You can see the city in the background there. we just sit back and enjoy the landing and look at the beautiful city on our way down. You notice the traffic stops. On instant replay it stops, but anyway. And there you have it. Back out a little bit. Now we can see beautiful Miami Beach here. The buildings are lit up very nice. Notice the colors of the buildings are very colorful. Now let's zoom in to get a better look at Miami itself. And wow, it's beautiful at night with all the lit up buildings, the cars and the street lights, the colors of the different buildings. Miami's a very beautiful city. Anyway, I'm going to stop it here. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed our flight today. And don't know where we'll go next or when that will be. But anyway, this is David Peoples saying so long. And thank you for watching my Flight Sim World. And please like and share with everyone you know. Thank you so much.